If you are new to homeschooling, welcome to my world. I first want to tell you that you have the ability to do this as well. I know a lot of us doubt ourselves and our ability to teach our kids, but a lot of you have been thrown into this and it's kind of like sink or swim. You have no idea what you're doing, and maybe you've gotten the hang of it since this whole quarantine thing. But if you are one of those people that just felt like you were drowning and you can see fall just, a couple of weeks away, you're like, what is the school system going to do? Are they going to school? Are they not going to school? Let me give you an idea of what it's like to start into homeschooling, what the process is going to be. And then that way you feel a little bit more, feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable with moving forward. And of course, there's tons and tons of resources out there. Now, I will say that my tips are specifically for Maryland, at least in this video. This is specifically for Maryland. If you want to know the requirements for your state, please go to hslda.org. They have a whole map there. Click on your state and you can find out what the requirements are for your state specifically. But this particular video, as far as getting started, is specifically going to be for Maryland. Not DC, even though we're like, cousins. It's not going to be for DC either. So you will have to find out what the requirements for homeschooling are for DC. So let's get into what's going to be required in Maryland. Oh, pause real quick. If you hear my printer going off, it's because like an hour ago, I sent something to the printer. So anyway, it might just print something off and I actually do need it. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to fill out something called an intent to homeschool. This might also be called home instruction, homeschooling notification form. You're going to go to your school board, and it's usually done by county, but you're going to go to your school board and there should be some sort of link that says home instruction. There's going to be a liaison there where you can print a form for your intentions to homeschool. On that form, you're going to indicate your kids, their names, their ages, their grades, things of that nature. Your name, your address. It's literally one sheet of paper. It's not a whole lot. It's going to look different for every county, so don't go according to this look, if you could even see it. But you're going to indicate all of your information there. It's not a ton of information that they're asking for. And then they're going to ask you to make your first decision as a homeschool parent. That first decision is whether or not you would like to be monitored by the school board or by an umbrella. And it's really up to you. One of the differences is that the school board is going to be free. So affordability, if you're looking to just go with something free, you're really like, it doesn't really matter who reviews my kids' transcripts, I'll go with the school board. If it matters to you whether or not, like how close the government is in your business and what they're asking for, things of that nature, a lot of people, have gone with an umbrella for that reason, that they feel safer under, another layer between them and the school system, someone that'll keep track and also hold them accountable. So homeschooling in the state of Maryland is not just this, hands-free, no one keeps you accountable. It'll either be the school board or an umbrella that you pick. And if you Google homeschooling umbrellas in Maryland, a ton of them will come up. The price can range anywhere from, I don't pay a whole lot. It's like $85 for the whole family. I read some cuckoo website that said that the monitoring can be anywhere upwards of $3,000. Not true. I pay $85 for my whole family annually, and they keep our transcript. This is especially important when you get to the high school years where you're going to want that transcript. So, and they can keep track of that in order for your kid to get all the credits and for them to graduate. But there's a lot of different homeschooling umbrellas out there. So you're going to want to figure out which one you want to do, or if you want to do that at all. The next part is having a checklist. Now, this might already be provided for you by your umbrella. They might already have a list of things that they would like for you to have completed by the end of the school year. So that might be, for example, ours is Bible and Christian studies, English, math, social studies, science. There may be like art, music, electives, and there might be something else down here. So you would just have this list of things that are required. Now, If you're under the board, they may also have a list of things that you need to make sure that is on your checklist. However, as a parent, you should also look at your kids and consider what else that is not on this checklist would be helpful for my child to learn. Because not everything that's on the checklist, those are just kind of the core things, like the math and the English and the sciences and social studies. But what do you want your kids to learn? What do you want to equip them with? And you can think of this even in terms of, what do you wish that you had learned when you were in school, or what do you wish that your parents had taught you? What would be helpful for them as far as a life skill? So for example, you're not going to see typing on the list that they give you, but would typing be helpful and useful for them as a life skill? Absolutely. So you might want to add typing to your own school list as far as what you want to do with little Billy for the school year. You might want to add career planning. You may want to add finances. And these are things that are not going to be on the checklist, but that would equip your student for life. Once you have kind of that scope of, these are the things I want to teach and these are the things that you have to be taught, next thing is trying to figure out what it looks like on a schedule. So you can break these down into 2 semesters, just like most schools do. And you figure out, okay, which ones are we going to do for both semesters? So math and English and science, or math and English, are usually done for both semesters. They don't have to be, but they can be done for both semesters. And you can do, maybe your first semester you're diving into science, but then in your second semester you're diving into history. Maybe your first semester you're diving into government, and the next semester it's economics. Or one semester it is current events, and the next semester you're studying finance. So those other ones that might not be as core, those can be moved around, but quite honestly, all of it can be moved around. You could go according to what's kind of hot with your kid right now, what they seem to be into, or a skill that you really feel like you might need to jump on more sooner than later. You can start with those, and you can play around with the duration of each. And by duration, I mean it could be a 3-week, a 6-week, an 8-week. It could be a book. It could be a field trip. It could be a project. But you're able to check it off your list simply by having done it, even if it's a unit study, even if it's just a week where each day of the week you guys focused on the specific thing of art, and you can check art off your list and say, we did mosaics. Great, we studied mosaics this year. That essentially is going to be the schedule and the checklist merging together. So the final element that I'm going to share with you today is your search for curriculum. The last 3 elements that I have named kind of move in sync with one another, because while you are coming up with your checklist and what you want to teach for the school year and coming up with your schedule, the curriculum actually will help you to determine your schedule. When you open up the book of the curriculum, or maybe you're searching online, it should tell you how many lessons there are in the book, within the curriculum. And that will help you to determine, do I need to do this all year? Does this need to be half a year? And also, if you need to do it every day, or can you get away with doing it once a week? If you do it once a week, maybe it's going to have to be all year. If you have a 36 lesson curriculum that's going to take all 30 some odd weeks of school, then that's if you do it one time a week. But if you double those lessons up, you can finish sooner. And of course, if you do it every day, you might be able to finish it in a semester. If you do it every day and maybe you double up a lesson here or there, you might be able to finish that curriculum sooner than later. Don't overestimate your time. Don't think that your kids, it has to be like a private school in your home, in the sense of how much you're giving them. It's not how much you're giving them that actually educates them. It's the content. Are they actually grasping it? Are they able to digest what they're learning? But please don't go according to quantity and think that the more, the merrier. It's not so in this case. The more we cram into our kids, the more we're actually putting on our shoulders, and as well as theirs. and you're going to change the atmosphere of your home. You want this to be a pleasant experience. You as their teacher, as their parent, we're doing this out of love, and you don't want to lose patience with them because it ruins the experience for everyone. So those are the few things that you'll need to do. Again, that's your notice of intent to homeschool to your board. Pick whether you want to do the umbrella or to have the board review you annually. Might even be by semester, depending on your board. And then have your checklist. When you're thinking about your checklist, think about what you would like your kids to learn as well. It's not just doesn't just have to be what the public school system tells them to learn, but what you want them to learn as well. And then you will come up with your schedule. This is the breakdown of the year, not just the breakdown of the day. And then start searching for your curriculum. All right. And I hope in the next video to be able to give you guys a couple of other tips and things to keep in mind when you are homeschooling. Thanks for watching.